I get the news from a guy named Greg. I get the news from a guy named Mike. I get the news from a couple of dudes who wouldn't know facts if it would save a life. Greg hits his mark with a couple of comics. Mike makes a buck with a couple of shorts. He doesn't know how to price his position. He is trading his futures for...
Read all about it! Read all about it!
There he goes.
You've pulled up to a red light. Someone wants to squeegee your window. Someone wants to sell you a newspaper. Read all about it.
Where do you come up with them? Where are the gems?
It's unbelievable. I work all week. On those.
What are you standing? Are you standing there?
I'm standing. I'm like one of those cocky sportscaster guys who knows that LeBron is better than Jordan.
Okay.
And wants to argue about it on ESPN.
And that's why you're standing? That's why you're standing?
I need some energy. I gotta, these morning ones, somebody did suggest we do these in the afternoon, but I think that would make it hard on our
I
producers.
have energy. You don't worry about it. I'm never going to complain about being tired again on this podcast.
Right.
People can't, they don't want to hear it, and I agree.
So, Mike.
Yeah.
What's new?
Why would I lead with this? But I joined TikTok this week.
Oh boy, it's over. All productivity. You're not even going to get around to your masturbation anymore.
I wouldn't. I don't know. There's some things, 3 hots in a cot, and then that thing. But I would say I haven't really gone on it. I joined because someone sent a clip of this horse who was running in place, kind of, and it was pretty funny. But a woman who posted it said she couldn't even speak. She was laughing so hard. And she goes, just go to the comments. You won't be disappointed. Go to the comments. And I realized I've never seen a TikTok comment because I wasn't a member. I would see the clips. You know what I mean? And I do love comments. Like even in Tosh, that was one of the bits we put in there, which is 10 seconds, like top 10 seconds on the clock. Here are as many comments as we can make. Like comments, they're so funny. So that's why I joined.
Well, I'll tell you, my son just joined. He resisted for years, and then he just joined, and now it's like watching a child spiral into a heroin addiction. He gets nothing else done. He sits on the couch all day. And this is an active kid. Owen is the kind of kid who's like, he's a pinball around the house. He can't sit down. And now he's just sitting there, glazed over, watching TikTok. It's really intense.
All right, I'm not immune to it, and I can go down I can go down wormholes on Wikipedia, never mind YouTube. So I will say I did lose a couple of hours when I first joined because somehow it already had the metrics on what Mike Gibbons likes to watch. Because No, but how could it? I even as I sit here, I have not liked a single video yet, but one of the first things it showed me was cooking on Tourette's. And forget about it. That was the next 2 hours.
Really?
What, you're not going to watch people with Tourette's cook? Are you insane? I'm like, forget the stock market. How can I be an investor in a restaurant with Tourette's chefs? That's my niche. Hey, have you been to that Tourette's place? Just call it Tourette's.
Yeah. Two orders of the steamed dumplings and country fried chicken. Country fried chicken.
This is a little, I asked for medium rare. This is I would not send that back if I were you. bitch, cunt.
Right. Kikes in the kitchen. Kike.
All right. Of course, are we canceled already because of doing this? But these people take ownership of it, and you see them, and they do it. And, whatever. I hate to reference Tosh again, but we're talking about clips. Early on, I was obsessed. There's a singer with Tourette's. And all I'll tell you, he puts himself out. He puts himself on there. He advertises it's with Tourette's. And he sings Lady in Red. It's maybe one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Because he can have a good voice. I think he might be Scottish. And he can hold that tune. But there's such tension when he's like, Lady in Red. Cut. Like, and it's even more tension than I just said. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a guy with Tourette's that lived on the bottom floor of the apartment I lived in Brookline, Mass. And you could hear him from downstairs screaming. He would say the N-word. He would say kike. It was fucking crazy. And his mother she would like walk him down the street like you walked a dog. She had her hand on his arm. He was severe. It was really bad.
There's a documentary that they had this documentary, and I think there was like a convention for Tourette's, and I think it was in Boston, right near BU, but on the other side of the Charles. I forget what hotel that was. That had
the Charles Hotel.
That had the big lobby with the elevators going up and down in the
Charles
lobby.
Hotel.
Okay, so this lobby, it's like a circular hotel, and the lobby's in the middle, and it's like it's a big like cylinder, and so they had the convention, and they're interviewing people, and you just hear like fuck, con, like bouncing because everyone's in their rooms, but it's bouncing in this lobby off all the walls. It was unbelievable, but. There's something about it. Everything I'm going to say, of course, is politically incorrect, I guess. But I just think, and I'm not backpedaling here, I think it's very relatable. And we know people with OCD, in our lives. But it's very relatable when a thought comes up, and you and I have impulse control issues. A thought comes up, and you're barely able to hold on to it. And you can relate to that struggle. But with Tourette's, you're watching people more often than not very often lose that struggle to don't say that word. And it's more than that. And that's where it's really related to the OCD component. Like on the cooking with Tourette's, it's like, put the oil in the pan, touch the pan. Like, and they say it out loud, but they cannot block the compulsion to touch the pan.
Yeah.
Or the guy's cooking with pasta on the wall, and he takes a little pasta and puts it right on the wall. And it's amazing, but I just think it's incredibly relatable. I honestly do.
My son, I was saying to my son, because when he got on TikTok, of course, and now he's mastered 17 different things that you can do on TikTok that I never realized, different
Dumb
functionalities. Dances. And so I was like, can you save... I said, can you have a folder with all your favorite videos in it? He's like, yeah, you just, he goes, here, I'll show you. And so he pulls up all the things that I've liked. And it was like, here, let me show you on the screen. Here's what we're looking at. This is my son looking at my favorite videos that I've liked.
Oh, I see women's bodies and faces.
Just fucking 19-year-old girls in bikinis, close-ups of their feet. Yeah, it's unbelievable. And I was just like, I immediately shut it down.
You should totally just go find young 18-year-old boy bodies everywhere, loaded and big. Owen, can you tell me again? I forgot how to do the file, and let him see it all. A giant overcorrection.
It's not that much different than your daughter finding people screaming Tourette's on your favorites. You can also, if you don't like something, you can hold your finger on the video and it'll pop up options. One of them is not interested. And so if you're getting sometimes it really it thought I liked fishing for some reason. And it kept showing fishing. And then when I started hitting not interested, it got rid of the fishing ones. So when the video's playing, here's a video playing, you hold your finger on the screen and then that comes up and right there it says not interested.
What was that video? I can't really see it. Is it a girl stretching in bed?
Yeah, she's stretching.
And you're gonna say no. I bet you didn't. I bet you canceled your do not like very fast just now.
And the best part is TikTok is so short. You don't have time to get your pants down, get a tissue out. You've already moved on to the motocross guy landing on his head.
They don't loop?
Yeah, I guess if you're into the loop, that could work.
I don't know. I got my pants down pretty quick when it was cooking with Tourette's. I can't even say it. Anyway.
No, but I was
recipes. Some good recipes. It actually was helpful.
Yeah, TikTok is pretty amazing, and it was a stock that I should have. Like, I really was early in on it. Like, I was mocked by everybody when I was on TikTok a year ago, and I should have bought stock because I was so addicted. I thought to myself, "There's no way this isn't the new Facebook," and it is. It's the new social media platform.
Right. I still think MySpace should come back. Everyone would join it.
I
see
fucking
memes
love
all the
MySpace.
time. I see memes all the time. Come back with an innocent social network, an innocent, benign social network.
It's also great if you're a comedian because you can, of your friends, like if say I'm working St. Louis for some godforsaken reason,
right?
I can send an invite to people that are within that area code. I can pick a few area codes and specifically target those people, as opposed to Twitter where you got to like, I don't want to annoy somebody in Seattle because I have a gig in West Palm Beach, Florida. I don't want to blanket all my fucking followers.
You just want to annoy Florida.
That's right. That's right.
All right, what do we got? That song was kind of fun.
Wasn't that fun? That was Tony Kakachi. Now, normally you get flagged on, we play our show on YouTube, which, by the way, if you want to watch us, we're on YouTube at the Greg Fitzsimmons channel.
You don't need to watch us at all.
And they flag you, and you don't, because we get a little trickle of money that comes in. We don't get a ton of viewers on YouTube, but you get some money. But you don't get any money if you use a copyrighted song, including parodies. But I think Tony's is so bad that it won't even qualify as a parody. And when I say bad, I just mean not directly good.
I like the logo. Here's how bizarre I am. I think that color looks good on me. So my head's been photoshopped on a lime green sweater. I have no idea what colors work with me.
Yeah.
Like sometimes a green shirt, depending on the shade, works and it looks good on me. So if anyone out there knows what they're talking about, I guess what? You match with your eyes. How about this? I have a ruddy complexion, blue eyes. My hair kind of doesn't know what it is. It's like graying, but it kind of looks lighter brown because of the grays. Basically a mess. And I don't know why that lime green logo kind of looks good on me.
It's like a key lime. It's a key lime.
I, of course, would never own a key lime piece of clothing, but I'm wondering why. Like, would orange? I would just think my face is already looking orange. Why would orange look good?
Orange looks good. You know what else looks good? Brown. Brown is really good with your complexion, like a deep brown.
Really?
Yep.
How do you know? Because you're
Black
the same?
Black is not good. Once you get middle-aged, as we are, you start to lose color in your face, and if you wear black, it makes you look especially kind of like pale. So they say not to wear black, but brown is good. It's always good for pale skin and red hair.
Look
you
at
were
this
a redhead when you were young, right?
That black notice is not good.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Red is good. A deep red.
Red. You see, this is why I have no clue. These are all the last things I would have guessed.
Yep. Never wear white if you're pale.
What? Sometimes the white looks really good.
If you could be black or Mexican, which one would you be?
Mexican. You're just talking aesthetically?
Yeah.
It's probably because I grew up with Italians who are basically the Mexicans of the Mediterranean. I mean that in a positive way. No offense to Mexicans.
We have Tourette's, ladies and gentlemen. It's just a mild form.
No, that's actually a very big insult to Mexicans, calling them Italians. I would say I just had such envy of olive or generally tanner skin. I mean, that's all I wanted.
That's all I wanted. I was the same way.
So I was like one of the only non-Italians in my school in Greasechester growing up. So that's the baggage I walk around with.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I was so pale, and my town was full of Cubans, Colombians, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, and and Italian, and a lot of Italians. And every girl that I dated was plump and brown. I love that look. Like I liked, I don't know why. I was the skinniest kid. I weighed 115
your son
pounds.
saw that on TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah.
You did gymnastics.
What does that have to do with anything?
I don't know. You just described a little girl's body whose period is going to be delayed about 8 years because you're slamming those parallel bars with your stomach.
Yeah, I was. I had nice legs. I had a girl's legs. If you put nylons on my legs, I could have jerked off to my own legs. That's going to be my
Pictures of your own
TikTok.
legs all over to you. Owen helping you save all your leg photos.
By the way, the logo, as we should give credit to Melody Myers, who did the logo. And Melody is married to our friend Rob Dukes of Exodus, of the metal band Exodus, who's our friend from Phoenix.
That song last week, holy moly.
He did last week's song, and we got so much feedback on it. People fucking loved it. And I should announce, he's got a new single that came out today called Never Relent. The band is called Generation Kill. It's also got Gary Holt, who's the guitarist from Slayer.
What?
So, yeah. And the video is badass. It was fucking expensive. I was like, damn, it's like a whole medieval war scenario. And heads on stakes, and yeah, it's pretty badass. So check out the video too, or listen to it on iTunes and Spotify.
Well, maybe Melody can put me in different shirts and tell me how I look.
Yeah, Melody.
She did a good job this week.
Yeah,
Melody.
Some corrections.
Is Melody related to Rob?
Yeah, I think they're married. They're either boyfriend, girlfriend, or they're married. But they're like married people if they're not officially married.
Wait, or was it the person who did the graphic last week?
No, Melody did this week's graphic with Ellen, and her boyfriend was last week's song. Oh. Rob Dukes did last week's.
So the musician is with a chick named Melody. That's nice.
Huh? Oh, was that the?
That's why I spend so much time on that. It's not funny. It's just an observation. There'll be a lot of those today.
Yeah. Why don't we observe some corrections?
Okay.
Elizabeth Brown, not sure how to spell his name, but maybe corrections should be called Denmans, since him doing a bit of research may help end the need for corrections. Do you hear that, Chris?
Wow.
We've got Chris Denman is our producer, and he is a good guy, and he produces the show really well. His corrections are a little slow. He also writes comedy. He writes us some of our jokes.
He's not responding.
They pop up. I know. I'm saying this waiting for him to respond. They show up on our. We have a Google Doc that we look at, and he sometimes writes jokes, and they're often funny. And so far, he's written.
I'm reading ahead. I like some of these corrections. I like hating the next one.
Well, no, Elizabeth also said, Gibbons said 2000 or maybe later 2002 for the 2015 movie Spotlight's release from Fat JC.
So, no, this is Fat JC, who goes, I laughed hard because of my blunder. Well, get the fat out of your ears, JC. I was talking about the scandal, which was in 2002. You can just talk about the movie all you want. That's not what I was talking about. I was comparing when the Boston Globe uncovered it all and how it was a decade after Sinead O'Connor did her Saturday Night Live call out of the scandal of priests getting moved around to cover up the pedophilia. So there you go. So maybe you're not laughing so hard, Fat JC.
Fat JC is so fat.
How fat is he?
He's so fat when he sits around the house, he sits around the house.
That's what I thought. All right.
Mike B.
My voice is
I am from Olympia, Washington, which is where my sister went to college. She went to Evergreen State College in Olympia, Washington. which is it the capital of Washington State, Mike, or is Seattle?
Seattle is definitely not. I think it's Olympia.
It is Olympia. The band is named after a road in neighboring Lacey, Washington. It's pronounced Slater, not Sleater Kinney.
What?
Talking about Sleater Kinney, the band.
Are you kidding?
Yep, Sleater Kinney.
Now, is it one of those where that's its origin, but no one would kind of like Dr. Seuss, no one would ever really say that?
Like
does
Jaguar?
the band call themselves? What does the band call themselves?
Sleater Kinney, apparently.
But that's wrong, according to Mike B. from Olympia.
Yeah, well, he's from there. I'm gonna go with him. By the way, that
then
band,
it's Slate.
It's a great fucking band. Check it out if you don't know them. Their last album was called No Cities.
They had an album in the 90s called Call the Doctor, I think it was. It was amazing. They had a bunch of really good stuff.
Also, Rick Schwartz says, it looks like you flubbed the info on the Flubber remake. It starred Robin Williams, not Eddie Murphy. Eddie was in the remakes of The Nutty Professor and Dr. Dolittle. And so I thought he was in Flubber. To be honest, I don't watch remakes. I don't watch any of the Steve Martin doing Peter Sellers. You got to be fucking kidding me. And kids love Steve Martin as Peter Sellers. And it's like, I would beg my kids, please go back and watch Peter Sellers doing the Pink Panther. And they,
yeah.
I don't get, no, it's not as funny. Oh, that's when you lose hope in the future.
A movie I've never given a shout out to, but it's a classic, is The In-Laws. Because that was remade with Michael Douglas was in it, but more importantly, the legend redid it. But I didn't see it.
The legend?
Yeah. Einstein. What's his name? The godfather of alternative comedy. Yes, Albert Brooks is in it, but I didn't go and watch it because of the same instinct. Like I didn't want it to mar, my sort of view. Anyway, the original In-Laws is so funny.
Yeah.
And anyway, we can talk about that another time. But if viewers want, sometimes they write in and ask, like, what are the recommendations? Like, what are your favorites? The original In-Laws is fantastic.
Bob Pedersen says the Gulf Stream craps out just south of Ireland. I had said that Ireland is subtropic. It never reaches Ireland. See the green zones on this map. The guy sent me maps with different climates.
Everyone knew you were wrong. Yeah.
Ireland is temperate. North Africa is subtropical. Well, then why did I see a fucking seal when I was in West Cork? I saw a seal swimming through a river. Explain that.
What do you mean? Seals are in the Arctic. What's the problem with a seal?
Oh, that's true.
There's no indicator there. Yeah, what are you talking about? Like if a manatee showed up in Shannon, Ireland, then I'd be, all right,
it was
Greg
a
has
manatee.
a point.
It was a manatee.
Oh, that's what I thought. Okay, you're right. You're totally right. All right.
You know what else I'm right about, Mike?
Oh, what?
My lawn.
Your lawn, I was there last night.
Yeah.
It's kind of kicking ass. I didn't want to step on it.
As a matter of fact, I'm growing it out a little bit because it's gotten so green and lush. I'm growing it out because I want it to be. I'm attacking the spring with Sunday. Sunday, of course, is they do a free lawn analysis for you. You get on their website, just go to getsunday.com/papers. And what you do is you put in your address and then they zoom in on it and they analyze the soil in your region and they develop fertilizer for you, not just fertilizer, but everything you need to get rid of pests, to get rid of, what do they call that? Nibbling grubs. Do you got nibbling grubs?
They're hard to see from space, but they can see them.
Yep, they see them.
This stuff has seaweed, iron, molasses. Forget it.
Yeah.
Won't kill a dog, unfortunately. All right. Little interruption in this ad, but all right. Remind me to talk about your dog after we're done with this ad.
Okay. I want Sunday Papers also is sponsored by They're supported. Jesus Christ, Greg.
Maybe I should have interrupted you with the dog story. Go ahead.
It's called Sunday because it takes about 15 minutes on a Sunday to go out and deal with your lawn. You strap this pouch on. It's filled with everything you need to make your lawn beautiful. It takes about 15 minutes. It's unbelievable.
Less than 15.
Let Sunday take the guesswork out of growing a greener, more beautiful lawn this spring. Visit getsunday.com/papers to get $20 off your custom lawn plan at checkout. That's $20 off your custom lawn plan at getsunday.com/papers. It really works. It's amazing.
Yeah, bitch. So last night, we're eating dinner over your house. Todd, the great Tom O'Neill was there. I wound up driving him home. Anyway.
Author of Chaos.
Yep. And you're that crazy fucking dog of yours. You went to the other room to quiet it down because it was crying towards the bedrooms. You went, you closed the door.
No, I had locked him in the bedrooms because otherwise he would be biting people's ankles under the table.
You went in there, closed the door, and then I heard an attack.
Yeah.
A total attack.
Yeah.
Like a really vicious. And then the door slowly started open, and I fully expected the dog to walk out. That's how violent it sounded. And this dog is a Shih Tzu. It's tiny.
Yeah. He's a little 15-pound Shih Tzu, and he is the most violent, vicious animal I've ever known. And he lives in our home. And I pet him, and literally I pet my dog, and I'm wary because he's got fucking pustules on his body, and if you hit the wrong one in the wrong way while you're petting him, he'll bite your hand. Literally can't even love the dog. We take him for walks, and if another dog walks by, he lunges and bites them.
And so we had the conversation last night. It's like, it would just be killing a dog. Like, if you, like, it's healthy and it's not near death. So you would just be killing a dog.
I know. It's really a conundrum because he's dangerous, and there will be a lawsuit at some point in the future. He's bit all my friends. Tom O'Neill used to house sit. He won't house sit anymore because the dog bit him so many times. So I don't know what to do. And he beats up on my other dog. He attacks sweet little Hannah.
Sweetest dog ever.
Yeah, he just starts biting her.
Yeah, I don't know.
Tough one.
It's not going to be with the Sunday, Get Sunday with your lawn care because, with molasses and stuff, that's not going to put your dog out.
No, that's the great thing about Sunday is it's all non-poisonous stuff.
Good. Very articulate. Why don't we move on to some news?
Why do I feel like when I do ads, I lose my ability to speak English?
You know why? Because you want it to come from your heart, but you're also, if we can say this, all ads, there is some mandatory, bullet points you have to, more than bullet points.
Some verbiage.
There's some verbiage you have to hit.
Yeah.
So you're trying to dance with telling it from your real experience and heart, but weaving that in there. And that's hard to do once you're committing to riffing.
Just understand, people, that when we take on an ad, we turn down ads because they're for things we don't believe in. We were offered an ad for QAnon, and we thought about it. But in the end, we decided not to do the QAnon ad.
Yeah, Denman almost jumped out a window.
Yep.
But we just couldn't do it. He arranged the whole thing, so it made him look a little bad. He wanted a steak dinner with them.
Yep.
And got the price up pretty high. And I think he dipped his beak in it also.
Yeah, he was getting a taste, and it was Bitcoin. So he was going to get a little bit of Bitcoin out of that.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the front page, Mike.
Extra! Extra! Read all about it! Extra!
Do it. Oh, my God, a newspaper. Didn't really hear it, but okay.
It's a little wilted. I need a fresher paper.
This is an interesting lead story. I didn't see this till you put it in here.
On May 16th, popular rapper Kevin Nascimento Bueno, 23, also known by his stage name as MC Kevin. Isn't that amazing? Because there's been so many rapper names, don't you think MC Kevin would have been taken already? How did he get MC Kevin? It's like seeing somebody and they've got like jim@gmail.com. It's like, how early did you get in?
Yeah, all right, hold on, though. His name is Kevin Bueno, and he went with MC Kevin. Your Bueno is in your name. You're not MC Bueno?
Oh, I know. That's so much better.
What, are you kidding me?
Well, it doesn't matter now, Mike, because MC Kevin
Is
was...
it MC Muerte?
MC Adios?
MC No Bueno.
So he was having a threesome,
Oh, Bueno.
with his friend, Victor Fontanelle, also 23, and model Bianca Dominguez, 26, in a Rio de Janeiro hotel room. When a friend knocked on the hotel room door, Bueno assumed it was his wife, Deloni Becerra, 33, a criminal lawyer who he had been married to for just 3 weeks. And he was having a three-way with his buddy and a girl and a model.
Oh, no.
Becerra had reportedly been texting and calling her new husband. The rapper, not wanting to be caught, rushed to the balcony and attempted to jump onto a terrace below. He missed and fell 5 floors to his death, making impact twice before landing on the patio by the hotel's swimming pool. Boom.
Oh, no.
Hey, aren't you MC Kevin? I wonder if the wife finished out the threesome, just in his memory. You know? Why waste it? It's all set up.
So I looked up Bueno, because now I'm realizing it's Portuguese, and Bueno is Bueno in Portuguese, so it still works. They didn't go with MC Bueno. Here's the weird part. So MC, it's that universal? Like Portuguese? That's funny, right?
Yeah.
I mean, not funny, but that's peculiar. That's interesting.
Yeah, well, we started rap, didn't we?
The Boogie Down Bronx.
Boogie Down
Are you kidding me?
Bronx. Sugar Hill Gang.
So I guess MC's universal, sure. But boy, I know what he was trying to do. He was trying to, I read a little. First of all, I looked up Bianca Dominguez, the one in the three-way.
Yeah.
Not worth it.
Oh, really?
No, I mean, maybe, but looks a little ragged.
She's a model.
In my opinion. Well,
I think if you're gonna have a three-way and it's you, a dude, and the girl, the girl has to be a knockout to justify being with another guy. Also,
in what I looked up, it would say Instagram model and call girl.
Oh.
Which I think is what model means in most of the world, including the United States.
It's like being a porn quote star.
Right, exactly. But I think he was trying to hang down and swing onto the porch of the 4th floor balcony.
I think he had some stinky on his hang down.
Yeah. Well, his hang down stopped hanging is the problem.
All right, let's talk about Alan Dershowitz.
Oh, talk about stinky. Alan Dershowitz sues Netflix over the Jeffrey Epstein documentary, which we talked about last year. Dershowitz is demanding at least $20 million each in damages for 4 separate causes of action, including defamation and breach of contract. Epstein victim Virginia Giuffre, whatever her name is, let's just call her Virginia. Epstein victim Virginia alleges she had been recruited as part of the dead money manager's sex trafficking operation, so from Epstein, and had been directed to have sex with Dershowitz and others. Dershowitz, who is still fighting Virginia, Jesus, I'm terrible with names, in court, denies he had sex with her and says he never met her.
Wow.
His defamation suit accuses the defendants of, quote, not presenting evidence in the Netflix Epstein series that they received and agreed to present, which he says exonerates him. An attorney for Dershowitz told CNBC in an email that, quote, the damages figure, the amount in other words, reflects that Professor Dershowitz's reputation has been severely damaged.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. If only one could restore Dershowitz's reputation as the ultimate scumbag lawyer who profits off defending some of the worst people on the planet. If only that can be restored, maybe he'll dismiss the case.
And what will restore it more than that guy getting $80 million? Because he'll only do good things with it, like buy an island and get some underage girls to fuck his friends.
He defended Klaus von Bülow, Leona Helmsley, Jim Baker, Mike Tyson when he raped the woman, Michael Milken, O.J. Simpson, Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Donald Trump.
Jesus.
And he talks constantly, because he has to, about the role of a lawyer. And he's like, this is him. He goes, I'm like, a surgeon, and a body is being wheeled in. Do I ask if that person was the killer or like the perpetrator of a crime or the victim of a crime? No. I have a duty as a doctor to try to save this life. That's how he validates.
Well,
but why do you consistently represent some of the worst people who, and he goes, yes, you are going to represent guilty. Your job is to defend the guilty and non-guilty.
Well, I heard this argument a lot growing up because one of my dad's best friends, and our families were close, was a guy named Ron Fischetti, who was Gotti's lawyer for years and other gangsters, and he also defended. Remember he provided free defense for Chuck Schwartz, who was the guy who tortured Abner
Louima, Jesus.
in the police station bathroom, where they stuck like a plunger up his ass and they tortured him.
Yep, Billy Club.
And Ron's argument was always that our judicial system relies on good representation on both sides, because it's a check and balance on the prosecution that you have a good defense attorney, and that he's not ultimately fighting for John Gotti. He's fighting for the the machinations of the legal system.
Yes, but what Dershowitz is famous for doing is he brings up something from outside the realm of, in my opinion, pertinent facts to the case, like in the what's his name's case, the super rich guy, Klaus von Bülow. Klaus von Bülow was, I believe, convicted, and then it was overturned, I think. But anyway, of injecting insulin, I believe, into his wife who was dying,
Right,
and killing her. And what they then brought up, and it was widely believed he was guilty. What they then brought up was like they just put the victim on trial. I mean, that's what Dershowitz does a lot.
Right.
He puts the victims on trial, and it sort of effectively blurs things for the jury. And he's constantly reminded, like, you just have to have 1% of a doubt, or I just have to convince one juror that maybe Sonny von Bülow, who was killed by Klaus von Bülow, in my opinion, maybe it was her prescription drug take throughout her life. She was a drug addict.
right. It's amazing because if you have enough money, it just seems that, and that was my argument about O.J. Simpson, is so many white people were angry that O.J. Simpson was freed. It was like, isn't this just an indication that a black man has the same ability to buy his freedom as a white man has always been able to do?
Well, I told you that, I was at HBO, and we're watching it, and a friend of mine, a fellow producer there, and he's a black guy, and we're watching, and, it was a spectacle. Everyone was like, it was a year-long saga. The verdict comes in, innocent, our mouths drop open, and he goes, yes, like he does a little fist pump. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck is that? Like, we've been watching. He's like, no. He's guilty. He's like, I think he's guilty. But this is a big moment where he can buy an innocent verdict like white men.
Yeah, right.
I was like, I was just shut up, because there was plenty of that going around, like all around that time, where there's famous, like, people getting off, having killed their wives, or, white guys who would just buy.
Well, guess who Ron Fischetti, my dad's friend, is his new client is?
No idea.
Donald Trump. in the New York State case against him. He's representing Donald Trump.
Yeah. I think they got the goods on him. You know, we were talking about it last night. You know, in the legal community, a lot of people were saying, you do not get a search warrant for a former attorney general's apartment, Rudy Giuliani in this case, unless you have the goods.
Yeah.
And it's also way too big a swing and a miss if you don't find something. So their opinion was this search warrant didn't depend on finding stuff in Giuliani's. It would just collaborate
Right.
what they already have. So hopefully that's true. If there were shenanigans.
Let's get to some Scientology, Mike.
Oh boy.
You gonna read this whole story?
Scientology's secrets spill into the open in the Danny Masterson rape case. So Danny Masterson, we all remember from that 70s show. He also was in a Netflix series recently, but he was pulled from that because of these accusations. So this is really about Scientology. 3 women took the stand to recount sexual assaults allegedly committed by the celebrity Scientologist, and each told similar stories of how church officials tried to stop them from reporting Masterson to the police. 4 women alleged that Masterson raped them in the early 2000s. An ex-girlfriend later came forward as a 5th victim. His accusers are part of a separate civil lawsuit filed in 2019 that names Masterson, the Church of Scientology, and Miscavige. Is that his name?
Miscavige.
The suit lists 14 accusations focusing on systematic stalking intended to enforce the church's alleged practices and dogma by intimidating assault survivors from coming forward. Danny Masterson and the church have been accused of poisoning the dogs of Mars Volta and At the Drive-In singer Cedric Bixler Zavala and his wife, the actress Chrissy Bixler, whatever. The actress is one of several women who is accused of that 70s show star of sexual assault. So get this. The pair alleged that their dog ingested poisoned meat tossed into their yard by Church of Scientology members. Quote, I'm at the vet dealing with another hurt animal. This is what I've been finding in my front and backyard. This is what Scientology does when you speak about the predators they protect. We had to put her down today. This was the result of eating rat poison rolled up in raw meat. This is the second dog we've had to put down due to the harassment from the private investigators and Scientologists. This only makes us stronger, blah, blah, blah.
Wait, so if I piss off the Church of Scientology, they'll throw some poison dog food in my yard?
This is why I grabbed the story, Greg.
Fucking Scientology is such a sham. What a bunch of fucking criminals. There's no justice.
You should put up 2 signs on the fence outside in front of your house. Scientology sucks dick and beware of dog.
That Miss
And by the way,
Cabbage.
the sucks dick is not that's not how you insult someone, but boy, does Scientology not believe in homosexuality. So I guess that's why I threw that in there.
You know what else? Mission Impossible and Pulp Fiction fucking sucked. Suck dick.
E-meters are a crock of shit. Beware of dog.
Miss Cabbage is a pussy.
Beware of dog who loves turkey.
Here's a great story. Great, depending on if you knew this guy.
Uh-oh.
A sheriff deputy in Denver who shared anti-vaccine content on Facebook has died of COVID. Do I even need to read on? Do I even need to read on?
The irony file, okay.
Daniel Duke Trujillo, 33, died on Wednesday. He was a former Marine who served as a deputy for 7 years. A Facebook profile photo said, I have an immune system. You fucking sticks are really out on social media going, of course I went and got my vaccine. I did my research. I know what's in it, you peasants. Oh, buddy, you are the research. I'll get it later after y'all start growing appendages out of y'all's foreheads.
That seems weird. He'd wait to see the appendages and then he'll get it?
Then he'll get it. Yeah.
Okay, I got it. All right, it's okay.
The last
he's
thing that he wrote
deputy.
was, before you shame me in public for not having a mask, ask yourself one simple question. Will this mask stop an uppercut? Jesus.
What the what?
Yeah.
Wait, you cut a line out of this. I saw a line earlier about not volunteer. Never. What you learn in the Marine Corps is never be the first volunteer.
Oh, yeah. Where did that go?
But it's all right. I actually somehow just remembered it, and I was like, the Marines would be proud of that. I don't think the Marines would ever endorse. Don't be a first to volunteer.
Exactly.
Wouldn't the Marines pride themselves on we are the first ones running towards danger?
Although, like 70% of people in the military have turned down the vaccine. It's a big thing in the military to not take the vaccine.
All right. Well, if we invade China, maybe that's a good thing. We'll get China sick again.
Well,
now this time we infect them.
Yeah. Oh, I like it.
Yeah, not that we get it. China doesn't have it anymore.
We don't. Yeah. Where's my gun? We'll send it. You just head in. We'll worry about the
All right,
gun
listen.
later.
We're probably going to, this little part of our podcast, unplanned, you don't even know what I'm about to say, will probably generate a lot of mail. So Biden opened up the commission to, quote, I guess, get to the bottom, like try to get to the bottom of this theory of the origin of the virus.
Yeah.
And the theory of that it leaked out of a lab.
Right.
So one could say maybe he's doing that to like shut up a lot of detractors who are like, that's never really been explored, because, for a long time, the country's been like, get over it. It's from a bat or it's an accident. It's not chemical warfare. It was not intentional, all that stuff. But part of me is thinking there might be more there. And, I'm not really a conspiracy theorist unless they're kind of like fun. But what do you think about?
Well, I think it's also he wants to continue being tough on China. He doesn't want to be seen as soft on China. And this is a little bit of a inside fastball. Brush him back. It's kind of a thing that we are gonna take a tough stance with you, but it's also just saying, I don't have anything invested in that. Look, if China launched a virus out of a laboratory, we should know about it. I think we got to stop politicizing everything. Do the investigation, do it professionally, fact check it, corroborate. Scientific, and let's come up with it. I don't have anything invested in it, and I think that's what Biden is also saying.
So, if I were a conspiracy theorist, boy, I mean, it's too much of a coincidence that the one town where this originated also has a chemical lab.
Right.
Like, no, sorry, that's not a coincidence. It's just not.
Yeah.
And so maybe it did leak. Maybe an animal. I don't know how it leaked. I really have not read about this, and I don't know much. I guess maybe I'll start paying more attention to it because I am interested. But also what's conspicuous is China's reaction was a, holy shit, lock this fucking down immediately.
Yeah.
You see that? You see that field over there? Build a fucking hospital by next Thursday.
Yeah.
Like, and the rest of the world was like, so what's this, the flu? So, I don't know. Now, that could be explained by...
They say a bat flew all the way up there and bit somebody. I think that's the only theory that they're putting out right now.
And listen, I think the easy answer to what I just said is I think American, Italian, Spanish scientists all had the same reaction that Chinese scientists did, except China, through, pure will of the dictatorship there, is like, you're building hospitals, you're not going, they just told the people what to do and they have to do it.
Yeah.
And that wasn't going to happen in these other societies. So I don't know. If someone has an expert opinion and they could back it up, do write in.
Yeah, I'd love to hear from you because I don't want to have to research it on my own.
Yeah, thank you.
So let's do some entertainment.
Oh, boy. Danny Masterson, alleged rapist. We've covered that.
Aaron Sprague said, I believe I've listened to every Sunday Papers, but have you guys talked about the HBO documentary Q, Into the Storm, in the entertainment section? I figured it would be right up your alleys. I saw one episode, and I really meant to double back and start from the beginning.
Same.
Yeah, it's it's really comes down to like they think they found Q. I guess Q is one guy, and it's sort of about the search for this one guy Q. And it seems like they found the guy, and he's like a little crippled dude. Can you say crippled? Disabled.
There's a couple of reasons you shouldn't have said that. One, I don't think that's Q.
Oh.
But two, that's not how you would describe the physically the physically challenged gentleman in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
But boy, do they interview a bunch of characters, rich characters for sure.
Yeah. What I did see this week was Framing DeLorean.
Ooh.
Oh, it's so good. You saw it, right?
I think I saw it a while ago. Yeah.
It's amazing
Wait,
because
maybe I saw a documentary about DeLorean, and this is about the New York guys wiretapping and all that.
No, not really. Well, I mean, he was probably wiretapped, but no, it's really his life story. It's about how he started out and grew up in Detroit, started out at the bottom at GM. Was it GM? No, Pontiac.
Sure.
Yeah, Pontiac is GM, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Anyway, he started out at a big car company, and
one of the big three.
He basically launched the Pontiac GTO. Thank you, John DeLorean, the most fucking badass muscle car of all time. He launched it at a time when they had big engines, but they put big engines into big cars, like Bel Airs and big 19-foot fucking Chevys. And he said, "Why don't we take that same 427 and throw it into a fucking medium-sized body?" And so he launched muscle cars, and so. And then he went on to create the Firebird and a couple Chevy. What was that Chevy? That little Chevy car, the Chevette. Anyway, he was on track to become the head of GM, which is apparently the biggest company in America at that time was GM, and he would have been the president of it. And then he was a renegade. He slept with young women, and it was a very corporate environment. Like when you worked for GM, you were white, Midwestern, wife and 3 kids, country club, and he was dating fucking 18-year-olds when he was in his 40s. And and he was like, I don't know if he was doing blow, but he was partying a lot. So anyway, it's just a story about how he left that role. He basically goes, fuck all. He either got fired or he left, but he might have got himself fired. And then he launched this car, the DeLorean. And there was a girl in my high school who we were told was DeLorean's daughter. And she drove a DeLorean to school. Yeah. And I researched it, and I don't think that she was DeLorean's daughter. But anyway... I got to drive in it. She drove me to lunch one day in the DeLorean. It was fucking cool. Yeah.
Well, the documentary I saw was, I think he moved the plants to Ireland.
Yes, to Northern Ireland.
And was really starting it up and really try to get them to believe in him and that it wasn't going to be out of business. And then he couldn't win that fight, though.
It was very similar to that documentary about the transsexual who launched that car, in the sense that it was really one person's vision, and they're trying to go up against the big three, the big three automakers, and nobody.
There are a lot of stories about going up against the big three. What was that other guy's car in the 50s? One of the Bridges brothers played the role.
The Edsel?
I don't know if it was that, but anyway, there are stories where, the big three, in theory, L.A., of all places, had this great public transportation system where the cable cars ran all the way to the Santa Monica Pier from downtown Los Angeles, and there was streetcars.
Yeah, now people, if you go to Los Angeles, you'll notice all the major roads have a big grassy fucking median in between the north and south lanes.
And some of them, the rails are still there, the tracks.
Yeah.
And you know that there's artificial reefs out in Santa Monica Bay with the cable cars.
No.
Yes, there are. No, there's pictures of them and stuff. And there's some other dump that has them. And it looked like the New Orleans streetcars. It was amazing. And the big three ripped them up.
Yep.
So everyone would have to drive
Ford.
alone in traffic in Los Angeles.
Yep. So yeah, that's worth watching. And then
Okay, this is going to be unpopular. You know what I watched with my girls?
what?
Something About Mary. It's way slower than I remember.
Is it?
Yeah. It's way like there were scenes where they really did not try to be funny like at all. And you know, those guys are obviously very funny, the brothers that made it, but like it you know, it has its real like but I remember being in a theater and just the whole theater laughing. It's one of my, you know, Jackass, Borat, like where I remember the theater experience was so magical with the whole theater dying laughing.
I remember I went to see it with Matt Malloy, and I remember Matt Malloy on all fours in the aisle, like literally in the aisle laughing.
Right.
He almost couldn't breathe. It was insane. How did you guys feel at the moment with obviously the jerk off scene where the cum is on his ear?
Yes, that was shocking. What the girls laughed the hardest at was when the guy who's playing a physically challenged, you know, whatever the word now is, the handicapped guy.
The British guy?
When he dropped his keys.
Yeah.
And he did that very impressive physical kind of dance.
Yeah.
And I was howling also. One of the hardest they laugh is when Matt Damon says, yeah, I work with retards.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and I had to be like, hold on. She's about to shame him for saying that. They were almost checked out as soon as that happened.
Yeah. I love the retarded little bastards or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matt Dillon.
And then of course the brother, and you know his like he was masturbating, you know. And
Yeah.
Frankenbeans. Like it's so inappropriate.
Yeah. And when he gets his dick caught in the zipper, that's Steve Sweeney plays the cop, the Boston comic, Steve Sweeney
Oh,
and Lenny
a lot
Clark.
of the Boston.
Yeah.
Yep.
Steve Sweeney and Lenny Clark. We had another story in entertainment, didn't we?
Well, the theaters, we don't have to do this,
Okay.
but it's a little similar to how inappropriate. Maybe we'll do it next week. But
Okay.
the UK theaters promised to only cast trans actors in trans roles only. So anyway, that's and we got letters last week about someone misunderstood. I just want to say it for the record. When I brought up last week the professor who was fired for quoting Mark Twain with the N-word, my issue is not at all that I want to freely be able to say the N-word without abbreviating it. I have no desire to. That's not my point. My point is once a word is banned, where does it end? Once you've determined that, no one's allowed to say that word, even in the most proper context, or another context, which is absolutely showing and highlighting how damning and damaging is the better word, the word is.
Yeah.
Kind of like you cannot at all teach, reference, or show a swastika. Sorry, absolutely not. You can't. You'll be fired. It's like, I just don't think that's the way to go. So anyway, that was my point.
All right. Good. For the record, the white guys have spoken, so fucking listen up.
Yeah.
Speaking of white guys, Florida man.
Oh, yes. Hey, by the way, are you going to read? Where are we? Are we skipping over this Stop Making Sense? Can't say it enough. And find that thing on YouTube that talks about, there's a film critic who breaks down the film Stop Making Sense, and the insights are amazing at what Jonathan Demme, Oscar winner for Silence of the Lambs, and David Byrne had in mind. All the symbolism, the pacing, the three sort of acts of the storytelling. It's so impressive. Florida man.
Florida man.
Southwest pilot sentenced for lewd act on Florida flight. it should say a now retired Southwest Airlines pilot has been sentenced to probation after pleading guilty to exposing his genitals to a female co-pilot and watching pornography in the cockpit during a flight from Philadelphia to Florida last year.
Your two favorite places.
Two of the most low-rent, unimpressive gatherings of human beings. Michael Hack, 60 years old, said during a remote hearing Friday that the August 2020 incident on the plane started as a, quote, consensual prank with the first officer who was co-pilot. Federal prosecutors said in a news release that Hack had never met the first officer before that flight.
That's a good prank. That's what, if you know the person, it's not really a prank. Hey, is it okay if I jerk off in front of you? Well, why? As a prank.
Imagine if you heard this story that they're driving in a car, like he picked up a hitch or whatever, and he's like, hey, look, and it's all looking down at his genitals, and also they're watching pornography. You'd be like, while driving a car?
Yeah.
This guy's driving an airplane. Oh, good afternoon. This is your captain. We're currently cruising at 20,000 feet. And if you look out the left of the aircraft, you can see beautiful Lake Kissimmee. And if you look right down here, Jennifer, maybe you can Kissimmee this fat manatee hanging out of my pants.
Attention passengers, my cock is about 6 inches above sea level. There may be some turbulence in about 6 minutes.
We're number 2 for takeoff, but I might back it up to number 6 or 7. I need a little more time here. Oh, my God.
By the way, don't forget to pick up your United Airlines 50,000 free miles if you purchase the card today. Oh, God. I love credit cards.
Jennifer, can you take the lever? Can you just take these levers and...
No wonder they locked the door to the cockpit.
No doubt. Oh, my God. It's perfectly Southwest also. That has all the ingredients.
I know, because Southwest
Philly,
encourages
Florida.
the flight attendants and the pilot to be kind of fun on the flight.
Southwest is the least fun. It's basically, it's Florida in an airplane. That's what Southwest is.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know. It's gotten a lot better, though. I have to say. Their terminals are new. It's very organized now, the way they do it. They've got nice new planes. I don't have the problem with Southwest that I used to.
Hey, can we all agree? Don't wear flip-flops on a plane.
Oh, please, men.
Seriously. All right. What's the sports going on? What's going on in the
Let's do some sports. Well, you know Naomi Osaka, who I believe is the number 1 or the number 2 player in the world?
It said number 2 here. I didn't know she was number 2, but anyway,
she was number
a brilliant
1.
tennis player, yeah.
Well, she's very upset. And Rafael Nadal and Ash Barty have dropped truth bombs on Naomi Osaka. I don't know who I guess Ash Barty maybe is the number 1 player. Following her divisive French Open boycott, some of the biggest names in tennis have casually given the number 2 a reality check over her stunning decision to snub reporters for the entire tournament. So,
why is that stunning? I mean, athletes have done that before. Like, maybe they keep getting fined. Wasn't there an NFL guy famously? Like, I'm not talking to y'all. Like, they took his shit out of context. They were unfair.
She just says that she feels that
Marshawn Lynch, right? Denman.
She says that
back from the hopper.
Marshawn Lynch. Oh, there you go. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
That's right. And he kept repeating that. That was his answer to every question. I'm just here so I don't get fined. How do you feel you played in the second half when they put him different? I'm just here so I don't get fined.
She said that she fears the effect on her and her fellow players' mental health. And she says that she thinks the post-match inquests are akin to kicking people when they are down. I mean, I guess it depends on who's asking the questions, but I don't find tennis interviewers to be like, it's not like football where they fucking, accuse the coach of sucking. They're pretty gentle.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what she's referring to. I do know. I remember one famous tennis post conference, McEnroe, and McEnroe's like, "I'm not going to answer any." Like someone asked something and he answered it maybe, and he goes, "And I'm not going to answer any more questions about that subject," which was off subject. I don't know what it was. It might even been personal, about like Tatum O'Neal or someone, whatever, his wife. And he goes, "I'm not going to answer." And then question. Then another guy asked him again. He's like, "That's it." And he gets up and walks out. And a fist fight broke out among the reporters because they couldn't believe because they needed for, their jobs. They need to ask McEnroe questions. And this guy asked it. So the fist fight. And I remember a famous ESPN sports guy who now announces the Dodgers, who I really like. He was in that fight. I'm forgetting. I'll look up his name. But he's like a beloved sportscaster who started on ESPN. But that's John McEnroe, where like I used to watch those press conferences. He was so exciting.
Well, what about like when Rogan talks to guys after they just got knocked out? It's like, did you see the left hand come? And he seemed like he was really beating up your leg with the kick. Also, do you think Martians are currently living in New Jersey?
Yeah.
I kid you, Joe, because I love you. By the way, did we talk about what happened this past week when I posted a stand-up clip, and then it got reposted? It was about COVID and how if you fuck a dog, you can get cured from it. And Rogan reposted it. It got 4.5 million views from him.
It's a great bit.
And then Segura reposted it. Shafir reposted it. I think Kreischer reposted it. It was fucking crazy. But then there was a bunch of trolls who said I stole it from South Park. So the next day I put up a clip showing me doing it on Rogan's podcast back in April of 2020, followed by the South Park that people were referring to, which came out 6 months later in September 2020.
See?
Now, did that stop the trolls, Mike? Nope. They go, nah, you stole it. Okay. And Trump won the election.
So their theory is you had a time machine?
I guess so. I guess I play volleyball sometimes with Matt Stone.
Wow.
I must have asked him about it while we were playing volleyball.
There you have it. You thief.
We got another sports story, but let's skip it and go to science.
Oh, there it is. Charlie Steiner. How did he find that? I wonder what he Googled. I just tried to Google it. Who's Charlie Steiner?
Great. Oh, okay.
Charlie Steiner's the announcer who got in that fight. All right.
A Los Angeles toddler has become the youngest American member of Mensa, where membership is strictly limited to those who score at the highest levels of IQ tests. Cassie Quest may be a 2-year... Wow. She's a genius, and her name is Cassie Quest. That's fucking awesome. That's like Bolts. That's like Usain Bolt being the best runner in the world.
Also the singular Bolt, maybe. All right, what kind of name is this?
She may be a 2-year-old, but her skills include naming all of the elements on a periodic table. At 2.
Holy shit, she's adorable. Dude, you should have put a picture of her.
I know, she is adorable.
All right.
She's got great hair. She learned Spanish, deciphers patterns. Quote, she has always shown us, more than anything, the propensity to explore her surroundings and ask the question, why? Her father told CNN. The Athwals said that as soon as Cassie said her first word, her skills developed rapidly. Soon she was speaking in sentences that contained 5 or more words. I think I read that her IQ was like 140 something, which puts her in the top 5% of all IQs.
I mean, every kid asks why. I mean, Louie even had that bit about that. That was his closing bit.
And it was the cold open for Lucky Louie.
For right. Yeah, okay. But yeah, it's my kids, geography, because I love geography just personally when I was little, like learning all the capitals, then I became obsessed with driving across the country. My kid, forget about it. They think like Minneapolis is a state. It's,
Yeah.
it's a shit show.
What is the capital of
Carson City.
South Dakota?
Bismarck. I don't know.
What?
Helena. I don't know.
Oh, you don't know this shit.
No, I used to know it all. And there's the Albany. There's the unusual ones too, but you learn, like Carson City. Anyway, I should know more.
All right. What about
Oh God.
Illinois?
Yeah, that's gonna be Springfield.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Kentucky. You're never going to get this.
It's gonna be Lexington.
Frankfort.
Yes. See, one of the unusual ones. Vermont.
Vermont. All right. What's Vermont?
Montpelier.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
What is West Virginia?
It's not Wheeling. It's
No.
it's I don't know. I should even
Starts with a Charles.
Charles married his sister. Opolis. I don't know. It's the worst joke ever. I don't know.
Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania.
Charleston, West Virginia.
That's correct.
All right.
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania, man, forget about it. It's in the middle of the state. It's not Philly. It's not Pittsburgh. It's not Latrobe. It's it's Easttown. Mayor of Easttown. No, it's Allen. No. Oh fuck. What is
Starts with an H.
it? Harrisburg.
That's right. Wow. So you're really good at this, Mike.
All right, Mayor of Easttown. I guess there's too many spoilers. Are you all caught up?
Oh, are you fucking kidding me? I watched that the second it comes out. I am on the couch, chips in my lap, holding hands with my wife, lights
God.
out.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's a little cheap. What are the murders unrelated? Like that? What? I don't know. I don't know.
Right now, I don't know. They're going into the final episode, and there's two different suspects, and you kind of don't know which one really did it.
Are there only two suspects? I think
Maybe
they might
three.
I
Could
think
be
they might
three.
pull some shit.
Yep.
I don't know.
I tell you what, though, Kate Winslet has been my favorite living actress for like the last 15 years. I worship her.
Slow down.
Yep.
Well, listen.
Who's better? Who's better?
What, than Kate Winslet?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of amazing ones. I'm bad with names, but come on. The woman, the mom from The Sixth Sense, who kills it in everything she's in. Colette, she's unbelievable.
I also like, who's the other Kate? Mrs. America?
Kate McKinnon.
No.
I know. But there's so many talented actors. I mean, we're not even mentioning the Meryl Streeps and everything, like the home run hitters. But, there's so many. I mean, they really are. Kate Blanchett.
Kate Blanchett.
Yeah.
You got Kate Beckinsale. You got Kate Blanchett. You got Kate McKinnon. You got Kate. There's a lot of talented Kates.
Sure is.
Now name one talented Erin. My wife's name Erin. Is there any good actress named Erin?
Yeah, there's that sitcom actress, Erin. I forget her name.
Kate Upton. Kate Upton.
Okay, all right, easy.
Best tits in the business.
Oh, woo, boy. I don't know. The real victim, though, in Mayor of Easttown, of course, is the English language.
Oh, I know people from Philly that don't have that big of a problem with it.
No, they're saying that, well, Tom O'Neill last night, sadly, from Philadelphia. And he thinks that it's pretty accurate. But I don't know why they play so much. I didn't need the accent because they don't speak with it half the time.
Right.
So, and I'm not missing it. It's still just as depressing.
Yeah.
It's it's basically the deer hunter meets, this whodunit.
Right.
It's really depressing Pennsylvania footage.
Yeah, it is Deer Hunter. Jesus.
Yeah.
Let's do a little business.
Oh, I like this story. You grabbed this story. I'm glad you did.
All right, Starbucks barista Josie Morales.
New hero of mine.
He got an order for an outrageous drink that included, ready? 5 bananas, caramel drizzle, heavy cream, and extra whipped cream. That guy's going to have some diarrhea. And 7 pumps of dark caramel sauce. As a joke, Morales posted a picture of the drink and recipe in a now deleted Twitter post with the caption, "On today's episode of Why I Want to Quit My Job."
I am with you, Josie.
So the post went viral soon after customers across the country were ordering the drink, reportedly driving Starbucks baristas crazy. In an interview a short time later, Morales revealed that he had been fired from Starbucks for violating the company's social media policy.
I mean, I guess the firing is justified. You can't do that stuff. But I love that guy put that on there because I've told you, it drives me crazy how slow. But also, so we're living in Los Angeles, which bar none is the most self-involved, the city with the most self-involved people. It's even if it's healthy, it's self, the stairs, the workouts, the diet fads, the fucking everything, goat yoga, whatever it is, me, yoga, meditate, me. It's the me. It just should be called me. This Los Angeles should be changed to me. That's all this fucking city is.
Yeah, but I would say that. What about all the people that won't take the vaccination, that won't wear masks? Isn't that also me? What about my ability to breathe better? What about my worry that this vaccine is going to hurt me in the future, as opposed to, hey, let's all take it and then nobody dies?
No, of course, and that's everywhere. I'm not saying there aren't selfish people everywhere, but like only this city has an industry which not only are they paid like really well when they work, but they also demand awards.
Right.
And please figure out in the pandemic how to not cancel our award show so we get our ribbons and shit, you fucking assholes. So anyway, the orders that you hear, and I guess it's everywhere, but in Los Angeles, I have to believe it's more special. It's the most high maintenance, tailored orders at the expense of 14 people who have piled up behind them to get a coffee. And my favorite person in one of these Starbucks was a manager. It was the best. All of a sudden, she just comes out. She's seeing all the milkshakes being made. The unbelievable amount of milkshakes with caramel drizzle and all the bullshit.
Yeah.
And she's like, does anybody just want a coffee? And she got an applause break and she formed a separate line just for people.
I love that. I've been saying that for years. Why don't they have a separate coffee line? It's not Baskin Robbins. It's a fucking coffee shop.
Yes, and by the way, you'll even help. It's kind of like paying for a commuter lane. You'll even help the milkshake people because their line's going to get shorter because you're pulling coffee people out of the line.
The worst is like I would pick up my daughter from Starbucks a lot after school, and there would be all these high school kids getting these extra large, is it the Venti? What's the biggest one?
Venti.
Yeah, they'd be getting these Venti frozen drinks with white whipped cream. They're like fucking $6.50. These kids are getting one every day. That's $1,500 a year in coffee drinks.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's more than that actually, I think. So there's a drive-through on Lincoln, like not far from me, and I remember once, I forget what it was, like. Maybe my kid was asleep in the back. So and I needed a coffee desperately, but I couldn't leave the parked car with a sleeping kid in it. So I go on the drive-through line. Last time I ever did it. And it took for fucking ever. And of course there's a minivan in front of me. And then the order's placed, they pull up and I'm like, all right, I can't wait. I not only can't wait to see what drink is handed out, I want to see the arm that grabs it. Sure enough, it looked like a padded fat arm. You know how a baby has a crease in its wrist because it's so fucking blubbery and fat and soft. That's what this arm came out to grab what can only be described as Dairy Queen drinks that were passed out through the Starbucks window.
Right.
Oh my God, good luck. I'm guessing that person's dead by now because of the way the shit they put in their body. But holy fuck, it took forever.
I had a listener write in that she was no longer going to listen to the show because of my disgust with fat people. And I don't know. I don't mean to be disgusted by it. I mean, Chris Denman is, would you say obese?
What are we talking about? He's fat-headed. Are you talking
He's fat-headed. Yeah.
Are you? But I'm talking. That's on the inside where I like to criticize him. I don't like criticize. No. By the way,
he just wrote down he's 6'3", 260 pounds.
That's
260
not
is
obese.
obese, right?
6'3", and he's a muscular guy. That's not. First of all, I only see Chris's face. He has a very good-looking head on him.
Jesus Christ, Mike.
No, he's a good-looking
What's
guy.
that all about? That's sexual harassment. He works for us.
Post his face on our website. Aren't there things where people judge people? I guess it's called Bumble. But I mean, aren't there people where like rate it like yay or nay or hot or not? Chris would get a hot.
He just wrote, I do yoga, Mike. Yeah.
All right, now I'm done.
I like to see
Forget
him
it.
in
He's a pig. He's a disgusting pig.
I like to see him in a fat child's pose.
Okay, to be clear, I am not shaming all people with weight problems. I'm shaming gluttony. And
Right.
Is it wrong to shame gluttony all of a sudden?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, you have a
We're
weight
supposed
problem. Maybe don't get a banana split in a cup, every day. How about that?
Or, if you're going to, I don't know. It's almost like, do you want to, if you're that
Hold on,
overweight.
my phone, I just got a text. I've been canceled. So there you go. I'm canceled. The fat
do you
army
want to
came
be
after
seen
me.
ordering the drink, or do you want to just do it shamefully, quietly in your house? That's the question.
Yeah, why don't you you've got your sixth motor in your blender because of all the ice and bananas and chocolate you jam in there? Why don't you put that to work?
All right. Also in business this week,
Maybe
let's take
I'm
a look
jealous.
at.
Maybe I don't treat myself to a nice sweet drink enough. I'm there. Just give me the fucking black coffee so I can get on with my miserable life.
Yeah, black coffee is the sign of a miserable life. That's a person that won't enjoy at all.
I don't deserve more.
Yeah.
Give it the cold. You know what? Finish the pot. Don't make a new pot for me. In fact,
Yeah.
get the old pot out of the sink if there's still some in there that you poured out.
I literally will walk into, if there's a deli and a Starbucks in New York City, I'll walk into the deli and I'll get some deli coffee. I don't give a shit. Whatever it is, I'll drink it. I mean, would I prefer Pete's? Love Pete's. I don't get hung up if I can't get it.
So I told you I quit coffee successfully. I have had
Congratulations.
I had it one time since and it was joyous, but I made sure not to have it on any like surrounding days because I want to keep that alive for special times. But I was really jonesing for it the other day, and so I had a tea. Tea is just awful.
Yeah.
And I know it's a funny joke in that HBO series. I know the Apple series, soccer coach, what's his name? And he's like, it's a running joke in that series, and it's very funny. Like he's like, it's mud. It tastes like mud.
Yeah.
Ted Lasso, yeah. Denman's on it today.
Yeah, he's doing good.
Typing with those overstuffed sausage fingers, but he's getting it done. Maybe he has a large keyboard.
Yeah, no, when he pushes G, you also get F and H next to it, but we know how to read the code. Bitcoin is down to 43 cents. It was, 43 cents. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, $43,000?
Yeah, that's what it's at.
Yeah. Oh, no, I think it might even be lower. It was down to 38 at one point.
Yep, that's what it's at. I'm just going to agree.
Dogecoin
is down.
Dogecoin is at 35 cents.
I think Doge.
But let's go to the Investopedia contest. We never named it. But why do we name things and have stings and stuff?
I think it takes work and dedication.
The leader right now is AJ Muley. He's got 199,000. He's a new leader. He's never been a leader before.
Wow, what did he do?
He's up to win the $100 on July 4th.
Oh, geez, I better get started.
Back at the bottom, Fitter 111 at $21,000. I have pulled ahead of Mike Gibbons, or I should say he's fallen behind me. I have 94,000. Gibbs has 89,000.
Yeah.
His daughter, who had been doing great, is now tied with you at 89,000.
She copied me and bought AMC, though, and that had quite a good week. But she also copied me and bought GME, and that is a shit show.
They say the airlines are a good buy, but they haven't really done that well. But I'm hanging on to my airline stocks. Not American, which is going to go out of business, but
Ooh.
Delta and Alaska are both good buys. And America is goodbye. Craig Kilborn's in it. He's still got $100,000. I don't know if he's working it or not.
He's hanging in there tight.
This day in history.
Oh, boy.
On May 30th, 1806, future President Andrew Jackson kills a man who accused him of cheating on a horse race bet and then insulted his wife, Rachel. Contemporaries describe Jackson, who had already served in Tennessee's Senate and was practicing law at the time of the duel, as argumentative, physically violent, and fond of dueling to solve conflicts. They say he was in anywhere from 5 to 100 other duels. So
that's quite a range.
Yeah.
That's kind of like our stats on this podcast. Was it 5? It might have been 100.
On May 30th, 1806, Jackson and Dickinson met at Harrison Mills on the Red River in Logan, Kentucky. At the first signal from their seconds, Dickinson fired. Jackson received Dickinson's first bullet in the chest next to his heart. Jackson put his hand over the wound to staunch the flow of blood and stayed standing long enough to fire his gun. Dickinson's seconds claimed Jackson's first shot misfired, which would have meant the duel was over. But in a breach of etiquette, Jackson recocked the gun and shot again, this time killing his opponent. Although Jackson recovered, he suffered chronic pain from the wound for the rest of his life. He was not prosecuted for the murder, and the duel had very little effect on his successful campaign for presidency in 1829.
I don't know how you get shot in the chest with blood coming out by a river in Kentucky in 18 whatever and live.
Not to mention, those weren't small bullets.
1806, not even 18 whatever. 1806.
Yeah, right. And those bullets were like giant fucking hunks of steel. Jesus. They say that those guns back in 1806 were so bad, there was a decent chance the gun was going to blow up in your face when you shot it.
Oh, man.
And they were not... The whole thing about duels, and I know this from reading the biography of Hamilton, which was made into the show, is you rarely shot the person in a duel, which is why he probably had 100 duels. You generally shot in the air, and you both restored your, dignity or your reputation, and you shook hands and walked away. It was very rare to actually shoot the person.
That's weird. Well, they say Hamilton purposely didn't shoot Burr,
Yeah.
I don't know, though.
Did you see Hamilton?
I did. I saw it out here in Los Angeles.
How was it?
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was not as good as Book of Mormon, but it was very good. It was very, you know what it was? If you had you only had a sentence, a short sentence to sum it up for someone, it's Eminem meets history.
Yeah.
It's so Eminem.
It's
I have
very
to say.
Eminem. Yeah, I saw it on...
And there's obviously reference. There's a lot. You can find them online. There's a lot of There's a lot of websites that show the allusions and the references that he makes to Biggie, to everybody, and all the wordplay. But that style, though, is very Eminem, I felt.
Yeah, I just saw a very cool TikTok post where somebody broke down the rhyme scheme in an Eminem song, and it's fucking complex. It's insane how many of his verses rhyme mid-verse to the third to the next verse. It's really they color coded the rhyme scheme to show which ones rhyme. You search for it; it's really cool.
But I like the new law that it ushered in where it's only black people can play historical white people now. And I think that's cool. That's a law in Hollywood. I don't know if anyone's heard.
Let's do Ask Amy. I like it this week.
I forgot about this little gem. All right, hold on. Let me pretend I have reading glasses. Here we go. Dear Amy, recently my oldest, Greg leaves. Dear Amy, recently my oldest daughter had a 15th birthday party sleepover weekend.
Oh, boy.
Her best friend, as well as my nieces and nephews, spent the weekend celebrating with her at our home. Sunday morning around 2 a.m., my husband woke me up to tell me that he had been spying on the little girls. No. My husband woke me up to tell me that he caught my 15-year-old nephew having sex with my daughter's best friend on my living room couch.
Hey, now.
I was grumpy at the time and not in the mood for a high five, so I told my husband to hit the fucking... No. So the having sex with the best friend on the living room couch, parentheses, sadly unprotected.
Jesus, how close did she get?
Yeah. No, this is the husband saw this. I immediately called the girl's mother and alerted her and brought the girl home. Same with my nephew. Now my daughter is worried that her friend's mom won't let them stay friends because this happened in my house. I'm sick with guilt. I feel responsible as the adult, and I feel terrible because my daughter has a hard time connecting with new people, and this will most likely set her back.
Connecting with nude people? Sounds like she did.
Understandably, the girl's mother was furious and hasn't responded to my calls and text messages to touch base and make sure everyone is okay. I'm not sure what my next step in all this is. Signed, which is kind of funny, buying a new couch.
Oh, shit. Next step, call U-Haul, get on Zillow, get the fuck out of whatever town you're in because you blew it.
So understandably, the girl's mother was furious. Understandably, the slut's mother was furious. I mean, why is it all... Isn't that shortchanging the girl and her power to consent and that she was into that? And
exactly.
Isn't she partly responsible? You're just going to view your daughter as a victim?
Right.
I don't get it.
That's exactly right.
All right, but what was the advice she asked? What do you do?
What's the next step, she said.
Well, what about the nephew?
He didn't get in trouble. It doesn't sound like he got in trouble. She doesn't mention anything about that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I got to think. I always think of that movie with Brooke Shields. I think it was called Endless Love, where she loses her virginity. And she is on the couch, and she's about 16. And she's getting fucking hammered on the couch by another teenage boy. And the mother is at the top of the stairs and sees what's going on and smiles. And it's like a beautiful moment where her daughter's losing her virginity.
Yeah, those were different times. Also, wasn't that a period piece, so to speak? Wasn't that set further back in time?
No.
Really?
I don't think so.
What was that? That was another... Whoa. Oh. That was another thing she was in, I think. Where
Pretty
she was
Baby, I think, where she played it. Yeah.
I think that one I'm thinking of.
Yeah. No, this was like a modern, suburban girl loses her virginity. And Brooke Shields, as a young teenager, did sex scenes, her Calvin Klein ads where she's wearing fucking underwear. She was seriously fucking exploited as a child.
Totally, and it's very bizarre, and it's a little like the Britney Spears, just the sexualizing this 15-year-old, where they're making literally making a 15-year-old a sex object.
Well, look how many of these Disney stars, including Britney, go on to become, sexy pop stars where they, Miley Cyrus, all of them, they get very provocative because they're trying to shed that image.
Yeah, luckily Miley Cyrus developed a voice that sounds like a drunk man, so it sort of took the sexy edges.
I'm not on board. I'm not on the Miley Cyrus board.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to some letters to the editor here.
Oh, okay.
Joanne has a crush on us.
She does?
Yep.
But wait, both of us?
These guys, I really seem to have a crush on these guys.
Okay.
Fred says, love the Sunday papers as well as Fitzdog Radio and listen to both regularly, with Mike complaining multiple times per show about how tired he is and how slow he is at this time of the day. Have you considered moving the podcast to later on Saturday so he can be more well-rested?
Fucking
Mike, your
Fred.
response.
Oh, Fred's right. So if you notice, I didn't mention it today, and I'm firing on all pistons. I should not bring that up. Well, what the hell? Why would I invite the listeners here to complain to them that I'm bothered, basically? So I'm not doing it anymore. Fred's right.
And you took Adderall this morning.
I also do, and I'm going to cure it with drugs. Note taken, Fred.
Mike no longer drinks coffee, but he ingests stimulants.
Not a problem. Not a problem. And shitty tea.
Bruce Weiss
Tea is
said
bitter.
Bruce Weiss says there's nothing like a long, leisurely weekend dog walk, and listening to the Sunday Papers podcast while I do it means I don't even get aggravated when I have to stop every 10 feet because someone needs to examine another spot. What are you saying?
He's saying dog walks can be annoying without our voices in his ears.
A few details you missed on your Oregon counties moving to Idaho commentary. It will never happen. These counties are some of Oregon's leading marijuana and hemp CBD producers.
Ooh.
It's legal in Oregon, not in Idaho. Mm-hmm. I don't think any city, county, or state government is ready to give up that tax revenue just to appease a few malcontented rednecks.
Racist.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
A fun fact. Ontario is where the Ore-Ida Potato Company got started. Massive weed sales and the home of the tater tot. I'm sure there's a joke in there somewhere, but I'll leave it up to the professionals. Good work, Bruce. I love when people give us the premise and they go, hey, I'll leave it up to you. Okay, let me just sharpen my pencil and get to work, Bruce.
Wow. So the Idaho Potato Company, that's what he's pointing out, is technically in Oregon. That's weird.
Huh.
Idaho doesn't even have that. They can't even gerrymander a potato city on the border.
Right.
Yeah. Fascinating. Okay.
Finally, Bob Corey says, love Sunday Papers, also love Whose Line Is It Anyway? How has the similarity between Mike and Ryan not been addressed yet?
I'm supposed to know who Ryan is. Is he the tall one?
Yeah, he's the tall guy who looks exactly like you. Ryan,
Wow.
what's the last name, Chris?
Is he American or British?
No, he's American. He goes out on the road with Greg Proops, and they do...
He's Canadian.
Is he Canadian? Ryan Stiles.
Oh, all right. I've heard good things about him. Is he?
Oh, he's fucking fantastic. He's
good,
really great.
I'll take it.
Good. No obituaries this week. Nobody died of any significance this week.
Oh, boy, are we going to get letters?
Yeah, point them out to me. Let me know who died of significance.
Okay.
Let's do some Sunday funnies. This is how we render it out.
This is it.
Lockhorns. Oh, I love my Lockhorns. Let's see. Leroy shows up at a woman's door. She answers the door in a tangerine top, tits busting out of it, matching orange shoes. He says, "Excuse me, I couldn't help noticing that your welcome mat was out." And she just looks at him like, is this a rape or what's happening exactly, sir? Why are you fucking knocking on my door?
It's a good opener. My buddy, Rabi. So Rabi had this cousin who was exceptionally good with the ladies. He's a good-looking guy, but he was just, one of those attractions that people have, and it doesn't even matter if it's romantic, but you're just drawn, that they have a genuine love of themselves. You know what I mean? Like, they just really like themselves. Anyway, he had that charm about him. And so he had told me about this. I'm like, all right, so that'll be interesting tonight. Well, we didn't have to wait till night. We're all on the beach, and there's this smoking hot girl sunbathing alone, like on a blanket. The kind that you and me and everyone like point to and do nothing about. Like, oh my God. Like, look, even when we were, you were single. Like, oh my God, look at her. Can you imagine what's her, blah, blah, blah. He goes over with his beer. He finds the sun so that he puts his shadow on her face, which kind of startles her. Like, what's this? And she screens her eyes and looks up, and he's like, oh, I'm sorry. Am I in your sun? And there's no one within 50 feet. And that was his, and then he's sitting down and they're chatting away.
There's a guy on TikTok, and you got to follow this guy. His name is Steven, I want to say Schwartz. And I'm going to look it up right now because he's so fucking good. He hits on
Tourette's?
women. What's that?
Does he have Tourette's?
Yes, he has Tourette's.
Oh, yeah, I'm in.
He is so goddamn funny, and he approaches women. He gets their numbers. And he's not a good-looking guy. He's literally an average-looking guy with a kind of a cheesy mustache, and he has the greatest pickup lines. He's just so fucking confident that it blows women away, and they just give him their number. And a lot of times he calls the number immediately to see if it's real, and it's always real. And there's some of the most beautiful women. I think he goes to school at Arizona State University.
Now that I'm on TikTok, how does that work? Can you send me, I guess DM me or whatever, message me?
Yeah, I can message you.
All right.
Is it Steven Schwartz? Yeah, I'll have to find it. Maybe it's not Steven Schwartz. Fuck. Anyway, all right. Let's do a little Hagar the Horrible.
Mm-hmm.
First frame, Hagar pointing up. I'm here to save you, Rapunzel. Second frame is the tower. Rapunzel's up in it. And Hagar's two buddies are putting him on their shoulders to try to get him up to the tower. And she said, I should never have cut my hair. No, Rapunzel, you just saved yourself from rape. By not, do you think these three idiots are struggling to get up there to save you?
What is the meaning of this? What is her thinking?
Well, you know the whole...
It's just a joke that there's no Rapunzel if she had cut her hair. There's no story.
Well, she would have been saved if she hadn't cut her hair, but it doesn't really jibe with the narrative that Hagar and his friends are... They rape.
Also, can't she get down? It's as simple as what MC Bueno did. You just gotta hold on and then drop down.
That's right. Yeah,
right.
Stay up there. Little Family Circus, great one this week.
It's so solid. I found it, it's today's Family Circus. This is the one in all the papers today, I guess. It has the date on it. Saturday, of course, 5/29. So you see a mom looking really tired in bed, and the little kids are waking her up. So there's the little bald baby, and then the shitty son with the red hair.
Billy.
Who's
That's Billy.
Sitting, he's kneeling right behind her head, and he's has his hand on her head, and they're annoyingly waking her up, and you can see there's a little movement in their hands, and they go, Mommy, are we supposed to let you sleep in this morning or tomorrow morning? And that's your entertainment. That's all, folks.
I don't know. That's kind of cute. That's funny.
Funny?
It's not their worst. It's not the worst Family Circus.
Right. I guess not. It just reeks of no effort.
Oh, it's no effort. It took seconds. It probably happened. That probably happened that morning, and he had to hand something in at 9 a.m. So he just goes, got it, done.
You know what would be an interesting thing to do is take the artwork. So you take that picture, and then you write a lot of captions, and you have people maybe kind of like the New Yorker caption this, right? So it's like a meme. So you meme this thing, right? You get a lot of them. And then what you do is you list 50 and you put Keen's real one in there.
Yeah.
Or let's say 20. And you say, rank these 20 captions. I'm telling you, Keen's would be number 20 in almost all of them.
Right.
And these don't have to be professional writers.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, they do that with the New Yorker. They put you caption their drawings, which I always love. Because,
I know, but they don't have a real one like to
right.
compare it to. Like,
right.
Were you wittier than this one?
Yeah. Wait, all right. So
it's so that's why I'm tired. Whoever
maybe we should do a contest. Should we do whatever our family circus is that week? We should open it up to our listeners to submit their caption, and we'll read the best ones the following week.
All right, I'll work this week. This is what I'll say. I'll find a family circus, and I'll write 4 captions, and I'll include Keen's, and then I'll challenge you to it. But we could also put one on our website also.
Okay, you mean
sure.
ahead of time, right?
Sure. Let's put one on our website, and I'll write to it also.
Okay, why don't you guys tweet us if you're interested in exclusive Patreon, exclusive pattern, Patreon. I don't know what Chris is writing.
Oh.
All right, and then finally, that's sexy. Oh, Jesus Christ, look at Blondie's outfit this week. Look at that second frame. In all seriousness, look at that second frame. This is like pornography. In the first frame, Dagwood, the fucking zero that he is standing there.
She looks like she lifts.
Yep.
Yeah.
He says, "Do you know what today is?" And she says, "It's the halfway point between Thanksgiving last year and this year." And he gets all excited. She takes him by the arm and he goes, "Wow, you knew?" She says, "Of course. And I bet I know what you'd like to have for dinner tonight." He sits at the table, a table that, by the way, she never sits at. Every fucking Blondie cartoon is her standing and serve. There is not, Mike, is there another chair at that table?
There's no chairs at the table.
There's no chairs at the table except for
in.
Dagwood's. And he goes, "The best part is it's only 182 and a half days until the real Thanksgiving." What mockery of fucking not deserving this woman is this cartoon. She is like, I go to Gold's Gym and there are women, like you said, that work out with weights. There's an Asian woman I saw the other day, and she wasn't overly built, but she was right on the edge of being to the point where
properly built.
Oh my God, the definition. And Blondie blows her away. And she, on top of this, why is she cooking him Thanksgiving? He should be slaving over. I just want to be animated, Mike. I want them to I want to get in there.
Well, I am a little disappointed. On the Thanksgiving spread, which has a turkey, mashed potatoes, stuff. All right, so
cranberry sauce.
Okay, so including the turkey, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plates. 10 serving plates.
Yeah.
Right? She's holding 3.
Yeah.
Which includes biscuits and everything. But on one of them is the canned cranberry sauce. I think he's underestimating. Wouldn't Blondie make a delicious fresh cranberry sauce?
Yeah, I think she would.
Sorry,
she's
to
a
notice
caterer.
The details.
She's so good at cooking. She became a caterer because Johnny Zero can't make enough money. He's such a fucking frozen middle manager with no effort. He sleeps at his desk and then he sleeps on the couch at home. And what does she do? She fucking goes to the gym, shops, cooks, caters. Oh.
All right. Look at us.
All right, Mike. Look at us. We did it.
So I'm going to put a family circus, on our website? Did you give the address? I don't know what our website address is.
I think nobody goes to our website, so I think what they should do is, Yeah? What's the best? Yeah, I guess we should. We'll put this week's Family Circus on the website. You can also go to the YouTube channel and look at it. And then you'd write the caption to us at fitzdogradio@gmail.com. We'll Instagram it as well. And then, he's saying we'll Instagram it, and then they leave a comment with the caption underneath. Should we do that? Let's do it on your Instagram account, Mike, because I already have 8,000 things from here on there.
Okay.
What's your Instagram account?
Gibbons time. At Gibbons time.
All right, so you're going to have to follow at
Gibbons
Gibbons time. You're going to get a bunch of new followers this week.
Am I?
I want everybody with Instagram to go to Gibbons time and sign up, and let's see how many more followers you have next week than you have this week. And also, you're going to leave captions for Family Circus. The winner, the person we pick with the best caption, will get a Greg Fitzsimmons pin mailed to their house. That's a $10 value.
Sounds like disincentive, but cool. Whatever.
Loser gets 2 pins.
There you go. Maybe maybe the pin is wrapped in a $10 bill.
All right.
For protection.
Yeah. All right, listen. You guys have been great. Thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate your support week in and week out, all of your input on the show. We appreciate our sponsors. Don't forget, if you want to support us, go to getsunday.com/papers. Get $20 off your custom lawn plan at checkout. We want to also thank Midcoast Media, the fine folks over there, Chris Denman, and the lovely and talented Beth Hoops, and Key also, who does the editing. So we'll catch you guys next week.
Should we do merch? Maybe people could write in. What kind of merch would they want?
Yeah, you guys into T-shirts? If you guys are into T-shirts, fitzdogradio@gmail.com. Let us know, and we'll make some up.
Maybe something subtle, not something too loud or big or whatever. Like,
what about the thing behind over my shoulder that's framed?
You'd want to put that image of you out there? That doesn't look like me at all.
No. All right, we'll get another one.
It's a very cool logo, don't get me wrong, but it's like to immortalize it in a T-shirt.
Well, we have 52 in 1 year. We have 52 different logos that have been made, artwork by people.
And have they given up? Have they given up the rights to the copyright?
Yeah, we'll send them a few bucks. We'll send them a pin.
Oh, here
and
comes
a T-shirt.
The lawsuit, and they're gonna play this back. They're gonna quote this, that we recognized that we don't own the copyright, and when this blows up because of Family Circus, they're gonna sue us for everything.
We'll probably sell about a dozen T-shirts. They can take it.
So it's so easy to take everything. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All
Good
right,
times.
Mike, I'll see you this week.
Take it ish.
Take it ish.
I get the news from a guy named Greg. I get the news from a guy named Mike. I get the news from a couple of dudes who wouldn't know facts if it would save a life. Greg hits his mark with a couple of comics. Mike makes a buck with a couple of shorts. He doesn't know how to price his position. He is trading his futures for his child support. I want a pod with a bald Greg and a broke Gibbons.